So we're diving into a tough one today. A really perplexing case. The disappearance of Rachel Cooke.
Yeah, it's a case that just sticks with you.
Back in 2002, this 19-year-old girl, Rachel Cooke, vanished while on a morning jog in Georgetown, Texas. And it's a mystery. You know, it's a mystery that continues to this day. It's like just chills you to the bone. It could happen to anyone.
Absolutely. It really highlights how they every day can just take this dark turn.
Exactly. Like you think you're safe. You're just out for a jog near your home. So Rachel was home from college.
Right.
Visiting her parents for winter break. It was January.
Yeah.
And she went out for her usual jog, like a quick 5-minute route, something she did, probably all the time.
Yeah.
Right near her family's house. And to make it even more baffling, neighbors even saw her out there jogging that morning.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so challenging, the quick time frame we're dealing with here. It's like she just disappeared into thin air.
Totally. So, where do you even begin with a case like that? And to make things even more complicated, there's this mysterious car. Several neighbors reported seeing a white or beige, I think it was, Chevy Camaro.
Camaro.
Yeah, around the time that Rachel vanished.
Right.
And so this is where things get really, really interesting. Was this just a coincidence? Or was someone in that Camaro watching Rachel?
It's a huge question, right? Was it random or was she targeted? I mean, the Camaro, it really muddies the waters. Was there a pattern of behavior that, maybe people didn't notice at the time?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe there were other incidents or other sightings that at the time didn't seem connected.
Exactly.
So initially, the investigators focused on people that Rachel knew, because that's, I guess, where you start, right? You start with the people closest.
Sure.
But all those leads, they just fizzled out. There was nothing there.
Nothing panned out.
And there's another really frustrating thing about this case.
What's that?
There was a lack of physical evidence.
Right.
No fingerprints, no DNA,
Yeah.
no nothing to point them in the right direction.
It's how do you even, it's a huge obstacle. You see this in a lot of missing person cases, especially those from, the early 2000s. Without the forensics, it's like solving a puzzle with half the pieces missing.
Right. It's like you don't have the edges. You're just missing so much.
You're missing so much. You can't pinpoint suspects. You can't establish a solid timeline. It's incredibly difficult.
So in Rachel's case, what were investigators working with?
It's like you said, without those clues, it's so hard to put it together.
Years later, a convicted offender, Michael Moore, actually confessed to Rachel's murder.
Wow.
So it seemed like a huge break. Finally, they're getting somewhere. But there's a twist. His confession was deemed unreliable.
Oh, wow.
So back to square one.
So that's a reminder that not every confession is, genuine. False confessions happen.
Yeah, I guess you see that sometimes.
You do. It's not as common as you think, but they do happen, Sometimes it's notoriety, sometimes it's coercion or mental instability, whatever the reason. It just throws a wrench into things,
Yeah, it's a distraction almost, I guess.
It is. And it highlights the importance of really corroborating every single piece of evidence.
Double checking.
Right.
And unfortunately, there have been other individuals investigated over the years, but still nothing concrete, nothing that really, led to any kind of solid answer. And it's been so frustrating for Rachel's family, especially for her mother, Janet. She's been incredible.
She has.
Keeping Rachel's case in the public eye.
Yeah.
Not letting it fade away.
Yeah.
Just refusing to give up hope.
It's amazing. It's truly remarkable what she's done. It really speaks to the power of, of a parent's love and hope, even in the face of just unimaginable tragedy.
It's inspiring. It's really inspiring. So, but you're saying, even though there's been no answers, are you saying that Rachel's case could still be solved?
I mean, you never say never. Advancements in forensic science are giving cold cases new hope all the time.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that. What kind of advancements? What about familial DNA? Could that help?
Yeah, so familial DNA, it's like a family tree search.
Oh, wow.
Even if the suspect's DNA isn't in the database, investigators can look for potential relatives whose DNA is a partial match. So it's not foolproof.
Right.
But it can provide leads.
It sounds like, I don't know, like a TV show or something. It's fascinating.
It is.
And what about this geoprofiling thing? I heard that can be really helpful in cases like this, too.
It can. Geoprofiling, it uses geographical data to kind of analyze patterns in crime. And it can really help narrow down, potential search areas, even years after the crime. So imagine it's like mapping out the most probable locations connected to a crime.
So even though this happened so long ago,
right,
this could still be helpful.
It could. It's another tool they didn't have back in 2002.
Right. just crazy how, like, technology can really, like, help with these cold cases. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Rachel's story, it's really disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
It's upsetting. And it kind of raises some really important questions, I think. It makes you realize just how vulnerable we all are.
You are.
Even when we're in places where we think we're safe. Going for a jog.
Right.
On a familiar route.
Something you do every day.
Something you do every day. Yeah. And it's terrifying.
It is. And it makes you think about that burdened silence. Like, could someone know something?
Exactly.
Could someone have the key to this whole thing and they just haven't come forward? Like, what if they have a detail?
Right. That seems meaningless to them.
That seems meaningless, but could break the case wide open.
Wow. It just gives me chills thinking about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day, Rachel's case will be solved, and her family and her community will get the closure they deserve. But for now, it's a reminder. Be aware of your surroundings. Trust your instincts, and never give up hope.
Never give up hope.
Even in the face of a mystery.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Absolutely.